The incident of a migrant worker who was allegedly harassed by loan sharks and lost his job and his right to stay in Singapore has finally come to an end, and it somehow indirectly involved PM Wong. Here's what really happened, simplified and summarized for you. So, before anything, you need to know who the migrant worker is and why it's being such a big hoo-ha. Sharif is a migrant worker who has lived in Singapore for 16 years and worked as a safety coordinator. But he's not just a typical migrant worker. He's well known to be a published writer, having written his first memoir in 2017 called Stranger to Myself, which is about his working experience in Singapore. A year later, he won the Singapore Book Award for Best Non-Fiction Title. Following that, he published his second memoir, Stranger to My World, in 2021, which is based on a diary he kept during the circuit breaker. He's also very vocal and well known for raising awareness of the challenges migrant workers face in Singapore. So, the entire incident started on 3rd April 2024 when workers' rights group Workers Made Possible posted a video recorded by Sharif, who made some serious allegations. Now, before anything, remember, this is what he said. So watch on to the end of this video so you'll know the full story. In the almost 4-minute video, he claimed that 2 months ago, someone sent a photocopy of his work permit and Joy's money to his office address, saying that he owed money. He said that he didn't owe any money. Then, on 11 March, his employer terminated him, saying
MOM and police advised them to send me back.
He was given a month to look for a new company. He said he found a company, but the harasser allegedly sent threatening message to the new employer, and the employer decided not to engage him. The video has many other things, but I've just focused on the key things that he said. A few days later, MOM and the police issued a joint statement saying that the company's daughter had gone to Geylang Neighbourhood Police Centre to seek advice on the things they received. The officers said the police will set up patrols around her home and alert her condominium security. Then the statement also added that the officer, out of concern for her families and her well-being, also advised her generally that harassment will usually stop after the work pass of a foreign worker being harassed has been cancelled and the worker no longer works for the employer. Now remember that Sharif's former company has given him a month to look for a job. So since a month has passed, he was given a special pass by the authorities known as a temporary job scheme pass to stay in Singapore while the police investigate. The TJS is a special pass that allows foreigners to remain in Singapore to assist the Ministry of Manpower in investigation, and or a particular witness are allowed to work during the duration of their investigations. Okay, so story ended, then he might have found a job in like 2 months or so, right? After all, how can an adult with a family live in Singapore jobless for 2 months say, walao, that time I quit my job and then 2 days later I can already feel the pain, walao, wow. Every day I face my wife who scold me every minute. I rather face my boss who scold me every hour. Yeah, but in the last week of May, he appeared in another video. He said the police has exhausted all leads and took him to ICA to arrange for him to fly back to Bangladesh. Instead of giving him time to look for a job, which he asked,
"Why should I return home?"
He then made claims that there were no documents saying that he was allowed to work, and said he found some good jobs but employers rejected because he has no document. I also quite confused about what documents he's talking about. So basically, he said he asked the authorities from the police to ICA to get his old job back or to stay in Singapore to look for a job. No doubt, with such strong allegations again, the authorities have to respond. This time, it's ICA and MOM, saying that his pass was due to expire on 24 May, but was extended to 27 May and then extended to 31st May for him to prepare. During his unemployed time here, which was technically from 11 March to 31st May, he was actually allowed to look for a job. The first month was by his employer, and then from 11 April onwards, it was through the special pass mentioned earlier. The authorities said that he has turned down job offers, including working as a packer and a hotel cleaner, and since investigations are over and he hasn't found a job, he has to leave Singapore. According to a spokesperson for Workers Made Possible, the job Sharif turned down required him to work for long hours in the cold room, doing work that, given his age and health conditions, would not have been suitable for him. He didn't give up. He wrote a long letter to PM Wong, and 2 friends who live in the area under PM Wong's care as an MP represented him. He claimed that PM Wong will appeal for him. Then the PAP Limbang branch responded to that, saying that they had indeed seen the resident and helped to convey the appeal, and added that MOM and ICA have replied to the resident that they cannot accede to her request. They then added that not all appeal has a successful outcome. Therefore, on 31st May early morning, Sharif eventually went back to Bangladesh. Now, what can we learn from this? Date nights very seriously, cause in the real working world, you cannot just go back to your teacher and then say, they can 1 week only, don't be so.
Hey, you think this one your grandfather's company?
You can watch this video to know more about how working in Singapore will be different in December. And thank you for spending about 5 minutes with me. I really appreciate it.